This is a book review of Shield, the Complete Collection. And it's an omnibus edition. It's about 950 pages. This book came out in 2015, and then you got all the back covers there. And just going to open up there. You can see what you've got there, the Shield Omnibus. That's there, and it's the spine. And there's the actual spine. So I'm just going to open up the book. And you can see the book open very nicely there. And then like that. So, what's in this book? Well, of course, the complete Shield, as it says. This is the Nick Fury and Shield. Obviously, Nick Fury on the front cover. Lots of brilliant artwork. Jack Kirby, Jim Steranko, and of course, others as well. And collects Strange Tales 135 to 168, Nick Fury, Agent of Shield 1 to 15, Fantastic Four number 21, Tales of Suspense 78, The Avengers 72, and Marvel Spotlight number 31. And as I mentioned, got lots and lots of writers, quite a lot of writers, Stan Lee, Jim Steranko, even Jack Kirby's listed here, Dennis O'Neill, Roy Thomas, Archie Goodwin, etc. Pencilers, got a load of one of my favourite Ogden Whitneys in there, Don Heck, Howard Purcell, Joe Sinnott, and so on. So you've got lots and lots and lots of inkers as well. So there's a lot of people involved in this work. And the stories are all, firstly, December 1963. Now, one thing that's a slight pity in here, didn't include Sergeant Fury number 1. I would love to have seen just have obviously Sergeant Fury's available, Epic Collection, etc. No, I don't. There's no omnibus edition yet, which is very weird. I would have thought an omnibus edition, Sergeant Fury, would be great. However, you got Fantastic Four number 21. It's the first one, The Hate Monger. Then you got Strange Tales 135, because that's our first experience of Nick Fury, obviously in the modern age, in the Fantastic Four. Then you got Strange Tales 135, August 1965. So there was quite a bit of a gap between the two. So I wonder when they did it in December 63, whether they said, oh, you know what, we're going to do a story like, but of course, there was James Bond, all the various spy stories became very popular at that time. So you got a great section of tales all the way through, and most, of course, were short, like 10 pages at most. Lots of them were Hydra, but there were other villains that turned up on a fairly regular basis, but Hydra was the key one. Hydra was behind everything. Got an introduction, John Morrow, and you've got the Hate Monger. So you've got Fantastic Four there. Classic Fantastic Four, great story. And then you go into Nick Fury, Agent of Shield. So you got them doing a LMD. Of course, LMDs turn up everywhere. You never know who's who after a while, these LMDs. And Master Matrix. And you got, of course, Tony Stark there. So the artwork is really sharp all the way through. I think it's just beautifully drawn. There's actually a bit of a change. You've got the initial story, and then he goes Jack Kirby, layouts by, and then art by John Severin. And I like John Severin's artwork, but it's a big change in style. So you've got that quite a big sudden change. Again, you've still got the Hydra story. You've got lots of aboard a train. Obviously, you've got all the various Shield characters there. You've got all the Hydra top guy, and of course the conflicts there. Some great stories there. And then you've got Jack Kirby back in the game. The Brave Die Hard. So you've got some, but the artwork is beautiful. The artwork, the restoration is superb. Very, very crisp artwork. This one, Operation Brain Blast. So you've got a great story here with, you must believe me. No, I don't think I believe you at all. And Mentalo, I'm not certain how you even say his name, but I love always the machinery. You've got some great machinery, always. Great whole page there, just brilliant. Oh, the book always crunched down. And then again, the artwork changes again. You've got Jack Kirby, but of course, as always, you've got here Don Heck, penciler. So you've got Don Heck involved, and also different inkers. So the styles change quite dramatically in the story. You got Them. I love that story. Them was absolute classic. AIM. Obviously AIM, Advanced Ideas Mechanics. Great stuff. Unfortunately for them, they always seem to lose. However super intelligent they are, they always seem to have problems. But anyway, that's Hydra lives. Then the artwork changes again. So you've got Jack Kirby, but it's layouts, of course, by Jack Kirby. It's weird that he was doing all these layouts. And then pencils, John Buscema. As if, can we trust John Buscema to do the layouts as well? Very odd. Because he must have had loads of stuff going on. Must have been crazy amount of work. So you've got these stories. Again, still continue on. Jack Kirby, layouts. Seldom lacking layouts, it puts here. Don't yield, back shield. You got then Jim Steranko kicks in now. Brilliant. And one thing I love about omnibus editions is always you've got the letters page. Strange mails, of course, because this was being shared by, it wasn't Shield mails, because it was shared with Doctor Strange, of course, the Strange Tales magazine. Then it splits always with these omnibus editions because they're collections, obviously, the Marvel Masterworks as well. You've got Raw Energy by Jim Steranko. You've got a lovely, quite long article by him, 2009. So that's a really brilliant bit of information. Background. Then Beware the Deadly Dreadnought, plotted and drawn by Jim Steranko. And then the artwork really, it changes dramatically. You've got some very unusual. And I just love Jim Steranko. Of course, a lot of these, you've got the covers, of course. But of course, the covers are generally always of Doctor Strange. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Quite weird, really, when the book is called S.H.I.E.L.D., but at the time they were having Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sort of S.H.I.E.L.D. was sort of, he was just an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was the boss of S.H.I.E.L.D. Wasn't just an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. They just could have called it boss of S.H.I.E.L.D. That wouldn't have worked. But they could have done, couldn't they? Then you've got Baron Strucker, good old Baron Strucker, or Strucker. Strucker. I'm certain in German it's probably said completely different from that as well. Again, some dramatic pages there. And some more dramatic pages. This is the thing called Steranko. You just got dramatic artwork all the way through. Absolutely pow, bash, grumph. And great machinery. Sort of very similar to Kirby in that respect. Just brilliant machinery. And the artwork, I think, just got better and better and better. Initially, I always felt it was a bit clunky at times. It's still a bit wooden in places, I have to say. But I still genuinely enjoy it. I just think it's just so dramatic. Even though I do occasionally sort of, some of the work doesn't always come off. But some of the pages are just beautiful. You've got excellent pages there. The colouring as well. The colouring is just superb. Also, I love the use of, and I do love in comics, panels with no word balloons, no speech. So you've got some nice silent bits here that just are absolutely brilliant. Going more or less page. And of course, one of the classics. That one. I just love that story. I've got the original as well, of course. It's just one of those, just in very tatty comic edition. So that's why I like Omnibus. Omnibus is just, you can just look and admire the artwork. It's so crisp, the artwork, just beautiful. I think it's just far superior. I know lots of people don't like the colouring and those sort of things, but I genuinely have no problem with it. And also, of course, the originals still exist. You can always get old copies of the thing and just admire those. But you've just got the story, and also you've got the story complete, which is something that when you're collecting these comics, quite often you buy issue 165, then you buy issue 146, then you buy issue 173 or whatever, and you're all over the place. So you don't really, until you get the whole collection, generally ever read the stories complete in a row. So these collections, I think, just bring it just so much. There's also this lovely page here. Somehow they're slightly annoying, these fold-outs, though, because they have a tendency to sort of end up ruining the page. You don't fold it in properly. Then you've got another bit of a break, because, of course, the stories went to S.H.I.E.L.D. So you've got the S.H.I.E.L.D. stories. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. No longer was it in Strange Tales. They had their own separate story, and you've got brilliant there. And also it's got one of my favourites, the Christmas story. I love the Christmas story. Absolutely classic. Nick Fury, Agent of Shield, this one. Supremus, they did have some silly villains as well. I mean, you really got some really daft stories. There's some great stories. I think there's some brilliant stories in this. But then you got Supremus, really? And the artwork changed again, of course. So you've got Frank Springer. Actually, good story, though. Actually, the story, this one's quite good, actually. But Supremus, yeah. Hate Monger again. Good old Hate Monger. Oh, yeah, this is the Christmas one. I love the Christmas one. This is in issue Nick Fury, Agent of Shield. 'Twas the night before Christmas. I just gained very Steranko, or even like Will Eisner sort of opening. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Just glorious. Gary Friedrich, writer, Frank Springer, and Johnny Craig. One of my favourites. Just love Johnny Craig's work. So you got that story, you got all the way through there, and you got Don't Yield, Right Shield, Nick Fury, Agent of Shield, and now this is drawn by Herb Trimp. Again, another star. It was never very consistent, the artwork. It was all sort of going all over the place. But I love Herb Trimps, or Trimpe, not certain. And Hydra again, good old Hydra. But just beautiful, beautiful artwork. And the colouring, like I say, is just superb all the way through. Then, you've got an Avengers story. You've got the good old Captain America, Goliath, etc. And you've got then into slightly later, and this one's Howard Chaykin's. Brilliant. This is Marvel Spotlight on Nick Fury, Agent Shield. The assignment, the Infinity Formula. So that's a real nice story. Brilliant artwork. Then at the back, what have you got? You've got some bonus material. You've got some covers. So you've got a cover there. And also you've got some parodies. You've got the Not Brand Ek. I love that one. Not Brand Ek. I've got that one. I just love that. That is one of the best. Again, a parody of one of my favourite comics. And then you've got right at the back, you've got another Stan Lee, more introductions, more Marvel beat. You've also got adverts. You've also got some original art pages, inked pages, pencil pages as well. More brilliant Strange Tales covers. Also, you've got here concept cover as well, which is, I just think it's great. So you've got a lot of good, decent bonus material. You could always have hundreds of pages of bonus material, and that will make it even better. But this, you've only got a few, but it's still a pretty amazing. This is an absolutely superb omnibus. Now, of course, you can there's, I think, complete collections available of these stories. So if you don't want to go for the full omnibus, I think there's a complete or epic complete, I think it is. And of course, these have been reprinted a number of times in many different forms. But I think this is, personally, is the moment the best. There is also, of course, the monster size, king size, whatever it's going to be called, one of the enormous mega books coming out fairly shortly, which obviously reprint it on a massive scale. Be interesting to see. I haven't decided whether I'm going to get it or not at this point. One, I've got stories here. Can't keep buying every version of everything. Because what will they bring out then? A universe size one where it's about 500 by 500 inches or something. That would be crazy. But that's the Shield Omnibus. Thoroughly brilliant collection. Loved reading all of this. And some just great stories, great art by Steranko and Kirby, etc. And totally recommended.